Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I am going to be going through the entire upcoming update roadmap for 2022. Recently we did get a stream by some Jmods and they did shed some light on the plans for the upcoming updates into the game. And it does look like we have some pretty interesting and exciting things planned for 2022. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoy the video and let's jump into it.
We're going to see more in, say, February, for example.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that there's some stuff being announced this week, and February is going to be a really exciting month. We're actually starting next week with some global buffs that are going to be applying to Slayer. Slayer is going to be the focus or it'd be a good idea to focus on Slayer because of some of the content that's coming out towards the end of the month. So there's a really cool Slayer update coming up. I think people are probably guessing what it is already. But there's going to be some things happening next week. I think that includes things like we're going to have a period of free death costs again because that seems to be working quite well. And there'll be some other things that are going to be announced later on this week. There's also the double XP event. And I think you can really sort of take advantage of this month and get the most out of it. There'll be the next part of the Path of the Creators Yak track. So this is the big and full part of the Yak track. So that's coming up later on in the month as well.
So as you guys just heard, there is a lot of content coming into the game in February. First off, we are going to have a global Slayer buff and free death cost period, which will begin on February 7th, which is just next Monday. Now, we're not sure what the global Slayer buffs will entail, but we do know that in February, Slayer is going to be a main theme, and that we're actually going to be getting a Slayer update at the end of February, which will be the main month's feature. We're also going to have a Valentine's Day event with some past treasure hunter rewards and content from 2016. Of course, we are going to have another double XP event, which was expected. It always seems to come in February. That will begin on February 18th and last 10 days. And we're also going to have the next Yak track, which is the Path of the Creators for Bic and Full. And that will cap off February, so a pretty exciting month coming up, and it doesn't stop there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the storyline is going to be coming to a close pretty soon. We want to make sure we wrap it up. We don't want it to drag on. We are going to be, I think, just before Christmas. What Osborne started talking about the finale. There's going to be a Grandmaster finale. Quest to wrap up the Elder God Wars, or sorry, not just the Elder God Wars dungeon, but the Elder Gods narrative as a whole is going to be with us in the first half of this year.
So we are also going to be getting a Grandmaster Quest to wrap up the Elder God narrative, which is actually going to be the first Grandmaster Quest since 2016. And this is going to be released sometime in the first half of the year, so that's another update to watch out for. Also, in the first half of the year, we can expect another Easter event. No details for that as of yet, but it was announced. And then following that, in the summer, we can expect one of the most anticipated updates of the year.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be a fifth boss, so we can confirm that. We're working on it. We can't say what it's going to be. We don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's going to be something absolutely kick-ass, and I think it's going to be very, very exciting. I know a lot of people are asking when, so I can probably say it's going to be at some point over the summer. So it's in development at the moment. Loads of work's going on. Really cool design. I think Mod Realm is going crazy on it at the moment. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think there's going to be lots of some unique sort of mechanics we're going to bring into that to make it really exciting. And yeah, we'll just give you more information on that as soon as we can. It'll probably be in the form of a stream, something a bit close to the time. But yeah, confirmed, it's coming, it's on the way.
So there you have it. As expected, we are going to be getting that 5th God Wars Dungeon 3 boss, and it is going to go right along with the storyline and the lore. All we know about the boss so far is that it will be kick-ass and be a part of the next storyline. This boss will be released in the summer of 2022, so probably sometime in either June, July, or August. Now that I covered some of the bigger updates that are going to be coming into the game, there are a few smaller ones and just some more topics to discuss as well that the Jmods did mention in the stream. So we are going to be getting a Point Light Shadows feature, which should actually be coming at the end of February along with the Slayer update. They feel as if this will basically add some realism to Slayer and should really help engage the player in the skill a bit more, just with a small graphical rework. As you can see, the only difference is that your player will now have a bit of a shadow. So this will be a graphical rework which players will be able to toggle on or off. Also in the stream, the Jmods talked a bit about update planning and how they are now creating updates and implementing them into the game, sort of with more of a seasonality to them. In the past, updates have been a bit random, but with a season structure, they're now a bit more connected to what's happening in the game world, and they're also connecting it a bit more to the story and the lore. It basically just allows them to help plan and organize future updates years in advance, making it easier for returning players to stay connected to the story and look forward to that continuing. On the topic of old content reworks as well as some skill reworks, this was actually discussed as well. They did acknowledge that Karamja does need an entire graphical rework. They feel as if that rework is a bit too large scale of a rework to do at the moment. They do want to sort of update it and spruce it up for the game, but as of right now, it isn't really in their plans. In terms of skilling reworks, they did discuss this as well, and they actually mentioned woodcutting and fletching as an example, which is kind of cool since I did recently upload a video talking about a potential woodcutting and fletching rework. Now, their comments on this is that they don't see themselves doing a skill rework to the extent or size of the mining and smithing rework. They said that rework took them 18 months with 3 to 4 devs, and instead they're planning on doing some sort of skill reworks in terms of just adding more effective solutions in smaller updates. So some examples of this is the construction contracts that they did release, I believe, last year for construction, and something like RuneScape, which will provide like an entirely different way to train the skill. So we might see some random updates like that in some outdated skills like woodcutting and fletching, potentially maybe even seeing a new tier hatchet, because that is definitely needed. But in terms of a full-on skill rework, it doesn't seem like that is the plan right now. They also mentioned that skills won't be increased to 120 unless it makes sense to, in order to add some more content to that skill. They also did discuss the economy and death costs as well. Now, they didn't give too much detail into this topic, mainly because just talking about it itself could have an impact on the economy, which is definitely true, but they are doing some ongoing tech investigations and designs to fix the problem of the Grand Exchange, and one of the key factors is dealing with inflation and if the economy can sustain its current level. They also talked about platinum tokens or a solution along those levels for items that are above max cash, and they said that adding plat tokens would be trivial, but if you aren't able to use them within the Grand Exchange, then they'll just act as giant spirit shards, so it would only benefit a tiny minority of players who trade items beyond max cash. In terms of the death costs, they did get a lot of data from the free death weeks that they did do over the past few months, so that is going to help them make some more informed decisions about the future of death costs in the game. But for right now, they are going to stay the same, and we're still going to see some free death weeks, including one next week. And so anyway guys, those are all of the main points that were talked about in the stream, and that's sort of an update roadmap for RuneScape 3 for 2022 as of right now. We do have some really exciting content coming in February, just this month, so we can look forward to that. We got a free death cost, some global Slayer buffs, and a Slayer update coming at the end of the month, not to mention a double XP event that is starting on February 18th. And along with that, of course, the most anticipated update, the 5th Elder God Wars boss, is going to be coming out in the summer of 22, and then we also have a Grandmaster finale quest to wrap up the Elder God Wars narrative in the first half of the year. So it does look like 2022 is pretty action-packed, at least the first half of the year, and I'm sure we will get an update later on about the specifics of these updates, as well as some potential updates for the second half of the year. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.